Green flag at the back. Here come the lights. The Canadian Grand Prix is underway. George Russell gets the launch off the line that he was looking for. He will maintain the lead into turn number 1. Max Verstappen in second. Around the outside goes Kimi Antonelli. Outside line, trying to get to the inside. Remember, fresh new tyres for Oscar Piastri. Top 3 are as they were. Antonelli, will he go brave to the inside to try and take third? He does so, and he improves to put 2 Mercedes in the top 3. There was no opportunity for Max Verstappen to get by. It's Russell, then Verstappen, then Antonelli. Down a place goes our championship leader as Russell tries to break away. There was no change between Hamilton, Alonso, Norris and Leclerc. Colapinto gained a place and Albon's trying to take it back. That's the battle you're looking at the moment. Can he get through? Colapinto won't want to give it up and Albon's off the road as a result. Rejoining, flat to the floor, cars everywhere, either side, and Hulkenberg's going to take 2 places. If he can get there, he does take 2 places on a frenetic opening lap. Colapinto and Albon fighting each other, and Hulkenberg was the benefit.
Fairly nip and tuck, and then Kimi saw that wide opportunity. Look how much space actually he's giving everyone around him, and in the end he got a good enough drive off the second corner to claim the track position on the McLaren. Nico's been around long enough to know what potentially was coming, and in the end he would have said thank you very much.
Thoughts on tyres please, Max?
Not good. It's very fragile.
Well, that information would point us towards this is not a conscious effort from Red Bull to maintain a gap, and that Antonelli's pace at the moment is real. Antonelli, who set his 4th place time in qualifying on used tyres. You're on board with Lando Norris, second in last year's Grand Prix. Wide moment for Fernando Alonso. Norris trying to stand on the power and improve a place. He's going to be able to get past the Aston Martin here surely and improve up to P6. He does so.
We're going to see Lando Norris get a fairly easy pass here on Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, the hard tyre is the one to be on. Lewis Hamilton's coming into the pits, but he's going to be passed before he gets there by Lando Norris. Has to back out of it, and then he will aim for the pit lane. Lando Norris up to 2nd place. Laid on the brakes for Carlos Sainz. Late braking move and a position gain for Sainz, who was distraught with being impeded when he had Isaac Hadjar in the way yesterday. And that is the Williams driver getting past Bortoletto. Sonoda is the driver we're on board with, trying to improve, and he did improve up to 13th going in to the final chicane. Max Verstappen said he was very happy with the initial balance he had at the start of the weekend, but the Red Bull was struggling for grip, and again, at the leading pack, he goes early for the fresh rubber. Kimi Antonelli coming in, trying to secure his first podium in Formula One. He'd be the 3rd youngest podium finisher, behind Lance Stroll, behind Max Verstappen, if he was able to climb onto that rostrum. And he is fighting his way ahead on the racetrack, but it's a different corner that does always give the advantage to the inside line. We saw that last year in mixed conditions, and it was close, but Verstappen stays ahead. So this was at the hairpin. Lance Stroll getting past Pierre Gasly.
So unlike the block pass that we saw from Sainz earlier on, he had a lot to do still at the apex. And I think Gasly just saw that coming and didn't fancy a crash on a day that's pretty tough for him.
Yeah, that's a penalty. Push me wide.
Understood, we're looking at it.
Run me on the grass.
Yeah, we see.
Lance Stroll got a 10-second penalty for forcing Pierre Gasly off the racetrack. 4.1 seconds separate the top 4. We've waited a while for them to bunch up, but bunch up they have.
This is a straight fight between you, Verstappen and Antonelli.
Yeah, that gap's come down from 4 seconds to 2.5 since the pit stop for the second McLaren in the Grand Prix. It's close this time. Antonelli is driving on those mirrors and now looks further ahead. They both make the chicane. Antonelli under huge pressure right now as we go to the first turn on the racetrack.
It would be very brave to get a pass done here.
Oh, that angle made it look like he was going for the latest of lunges.
It did.
They've been saying all the way through the season, at some point, it's going to get close.
Let's attack Oscar while he doesn't have DRS.
That's the encouragement from race engineer to driver, building up to 200 miles per hour. Oscar Piastri looking in the left mirror because his rival for the title is right there, but unable to shape for the move. Another DRS zone coming his way right about now.
Lando's engineer is with him in the cockpit all the way, isn't he? He's sort of giving him the ABC of how to qualify yesterday. Now a little bit of advice with the DRS, which, you know, that should be a no-brainer.
Is there an opportunity for Lando Norris? Thinking about it to the inside. Lando Norris with a move of the hairpin. Piastri tries to fight back. The crowd on their feet in the grandstand. The top two in the World Championship side by side. Heading into the final chicane. Piastri and Norris separated by nothing to 200 miles per hour. Norris inching clear. Late on the brakes for Piastri. Does he make the corner? He does. But he's compromised, and Norris can't fight his way by. We go to turn one. No, he's ripped off the front wing. The McLarens collide. Lando Norris into the wall and out of the race. Chasing fourth place, the McLarens collide, and Norris is out. And they ran wheel to wheel for so long, but collided on the pit straight. This is the straight before.
Yeah, wheel-to-wheel stuff, and always going to be advantage Oscar on the brakes on the inside. He risked all. You see, he goes a bit deep through the right. That compromises him a bit for the exit. And then we've got Lando with that slipstream, and he's actually hit his wing on the back of Oscar before getting alongside. So I think he's got to accept that's an error of judgment in the heat of the battle.
Yeah, I think it is. It's a misjudgment. So he's hoping that space is going to open up, and it just doesn't. So he drives into the back of his teammate. He's done such good work to work the opportunity.
Are you all right, dude?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's all my bad. Hold up. All my fault. Unlucky. Sorry. Stupid for me.
Well, admire the man for owning it straight away rather than calling foul. We're going to get a perfect view of this. Just misjudged. Would have worked perfectly if it was any other angle of attack to that first corner.
Across the line we go. George Russell wins the Canadian Grand Prix, and he converts pole position to win the Canadian Grand Prix for the first time in his career. His first win of the season, Mercedes' first win of the season.
Brilliant drive all
Brilliant.
weekend. Nice.
Well done, team. I made up for last year. Well done, team.
Yeah.
Well done. Congrats, Kimi. Congrats.
George, well done. 1 and 3. Good day, a good day.
Good day, sir.
Yeah, it's such a brilliant drive.
Lando Norris with the big risk moment and the retirement that loses him 10 points for his tally in the World Championship. On a historic day for Antonelli, a great day for Mercedes, and a useful day in the World Championship for Max Verstappen. Montreal once again putting on a show.